Yo, welcome back to the Audio Theory Podcast. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button as well as the subscribe button. What's good, Danny? How have you been?
I've been good, dude. Alive, cannot complain. New month. Fucking 2024 is moving along quickly as shit. Not as quick as you, bro. Like your mileage is still, very impressive pace, bro. So how's do you feel like that's gonna be a thing you just do now as far as the running?
Yeah, I think so. It's
No knee issues, no back issues, no neck issues.
knock on
Nothing?
wood. No, not really. So I mean, I still go to the chiropractor every like 6 to 8 weeks. And every time I go, I'm pretty tense. So I think that's just me not stretching as often.
Yeah, I was gonna
as
ask you
should be.
how much are you how much do you stretch in a general? Like now that you're doing this.
I only stretch before the run, but I should be stretching after. I should be stretching even if I'm not running. So that's my issue.
Okay. Okay. Yes, I would be cognizant of that moving forward if you're going to make this like an every day, every week thing. Because at some point, like, yeah, bro, like I know for my full marathon, bro, by the 15-mile mark, bro, like I had agonizing pain, and the pain in my neck was because of my hips being too tight. So like it's if one thing hurts, it's because something else is fucked up. So I would highly recommend start stretching out more, because it's gonna, again, we're not that we're old, but at some point you're gonna start feeling things that you probably shouldn't be feeling.
Right. Exactly. Because like at this age, we can kind of get away with it. But when you're 50, you might be out like a whole month just from one bad day. So I'm trying to prep now, so I'm not discouraged later on. But yeah, it's been dope. Surprisingly, this was the first time I was running at like a crazy pace and didn't even realize it. Like I wasn't even trying to, but it was like I was starting off at like 8:30 or something, which is insane because I wasn't intending on going that fast.
Yeah, but when your legs feel light, you're just like, all right, fuck it, I guess I'm doing this then.
Right. And I kind of got thrown off because I did a new path, and the reason was because 2 months ago it was flooded, so I had a different path I was going, and this time I ended up at the airport, and then on my way back, I guess I missed the point that I was supposed to turn, and I ended up like running an extra mile or something that I was supposed to, and I don't know, I was just kind of thrown off. So it kind of ruined my time a bit, but an amazing run. Kicked it in the jacuzzi afterwards, had a margarita as a celebration. So yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna keep up with it. I've been able to keep my weight low, which has been dope. That's always been a challenge for me, especially after like the New Year's resolution motivation dies off.
Once you stop doing everything very clean, then it just goes back to like, we're back, baby.
Yeah. Right. And it's nice when you get external validation, because then it feels more real. Like, I obviously look in the mirror and see my body change and stuff. But when someone at work's like, oh, like you look slim, like, have you been doing something different? Then it's like, oh shit, it's actually working.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Good for you, man. That's awesome. Has the weather been nice for you to run? Like, or is it scorching hot yet?
Oh shit, tomorrow's gonna be like 95. So
oh wow, okay. So
I make sure to get that shit out the way.
It's proper summertime for you guys then.
Yeah. There was actually a fucking fire on the train tracks on the way from work to home today. So I had to take a bus. That bus had to go to the next train station. So the heat's no joke right now.
You're feeling it. Got it. All right, man. Good shit. Well, let's get into it. Episode 180. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Episode 179 is up everywhere. So my guy, let the people know where you want to start this episode off. Cause again, we keep telling Drake to fall back, and he's like, nah, one more thing. I got one more for you.
The funny thing is, like, before we did the rundown, there was no Drake on there, and it was easy because there wasn't a whole lot to talk about. So I was like, yes, the first week, I know we were trying to move on, but of course this motherfucker had to pop out. He must be listening to the pod and doesn't want to lose subtraction because of us. So
I think he sees my hope dwindling. So what's the topic you want to jump on?
So I mean, Drake's the talk of the town. Wagwan Delilah, which I thought was AI, is a real song.
Correct. That's the part, bro. I think everyone was just like, what's happening? Like, I thought someone was trying to clown him. Like, that's why I just let everyone know, like, I haven't listened to the song in its entirety. I've heard like little snippets of it, but I thought this was like, all right, let's clown this fucking, feminine ass motherfucker, fake ass accent having dude. Let's just make a fucking parody track. And then come to find out it's a real song. So yeah, what are your thoughts on the song? Him even jumping on this song? Do we even know that like this was did he just send this dude, this like comedian, the song, and like he had no idea he was getting it, or this is like a joint venture? Because that part I wasn't aware of.
To be honest, I'm not too sure. I think it was like some joint venture. I obviously, we're not from Canada, but I think in that region, this dude must have some sort of following, and Drake's always in the know with these sorts of things. So I think he behind the scenes must have just thought it was a funny / cool idea. And I think academics got word of it because he kept alluding to Drake dropping something. And then he's like, oh, it's not going to be tonight. It ended up being yesterday, I think.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
If I'm not mistaken. And here we are.
Okay, so for those who haven't heard it yet, so Wagwan Delilah is a parody of Hey There Delilah by the White T-Shirts. I think is their name.
Hey There Delilah is by Plain White Tees.
Plain White Tees. I was close enough. Yeah, bro. So like my thing is, bro, that song was a banger, bro. So like if we can't deny that, like, Hey There Delilah, we all do that song, bro. Like we all know that song. Like, dude, I haven't heard that song in fucking 6 years. And I can tell you essentially the band's name that I've never heard any other song from. It's a banger, bro. So the idea of him jumping on this when the other guy made viral enough moment in Canada that enough people were talking about it. I mean, there's a clip of him and his boys talking about the idea of Drake jumping on it. So I'm sure Drake saw that and was like, oh, that'd be cool. And dude, I'm not mad at this, bro. I think just the timing is very unique because it's like, bro, like again, this goes back to the point I think we made multiple. I made multiple times. I don't want to make you co-sign this thought, but where like Drake, he shouldn't go by what the person he's beefing with is antagonizing him about. Like he shouldn't be like, oh, you called me a culture vulture, so I will not do anything that resembles that, right? Like, bro, Drake's from Toronto. Like, bro, there's plenty of videos of him just relaxing, talking in that accent. Bro, they all talk in that accent. So the idea of this being now spun in like, oh, see, he's trying to be someone. I was like, bro, this is the closest thing to him we've ever gotten, everybody.
Yeah, I mean, so I agree. Like, I'm conflicted because I do think the timing is the thing that bothers me the most. Like, I think it's dope that because my complaint prior to this was he's taken on this like weird Atlanta mobster persona. And now he's doing like,
and your defense though, you've been saying this. I think we've been saying this pre the beef. This is like when For All the Dogs first dropped, and we were like, it's okay, but like, why is he so aggressive? Like why?
Yeah. And I think it's unfortunate because Kendrick addressed that claim on like the biggest public platform ever to the world. And then now it just, even if Drake wanted to do this shit for fun, it looks like Drake was bullied into like just being the vulnerable, silly Canadian kid that everyone thinks he is behind closed doors. And I think now is just kind of a horrible time for him to like do parodies and be silly and goofy and shit, because Kendrick's got the floor right now to trash him with all these songs and stuff. And then Drake's alluding to these summer drops and everything. It's almost like he's toying with us, which is just weird to me. And I do wish if this is his version of like, fuck you, I can do what I want, I wish it was him just being like, you know what, I'm going to drop another banger with 21 Savage or something and just like not care about anything Kendrick said. But everything he's doing recently just looks like he's giving Kendrick even more validity with his insults.
Do you think it would help his cause if he were to, or do you think the reason why we thought it'd be ideal for him to fall back is because, like, bro, if you're dropping content only a few weeks removed from your worst L in your career, bro, that content better be a response, right? I think it's awkward when it's like, bro, like you can't just pretend nothing happened, right? I think that's where we're like, bro, fall back so time can pass, right? But when this dude has the #1 song in America still, which is a diss at you and your entire crew, and like everyone loves it and cannot get enough of this shit, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I've only heard that song in its entirety. Mind you, we get, this is a, spaz with this on TikTok nonstop, right? Like it's, bro. I mean, we use it for our sounds because we know people are going to click on it, right? I'm aware of that. But I've only heard Not Like Us once, bro, in its entirety, just so I can get a true understanding of like, all right, what's the hype about this? Bro, I find myself rapping lyrics in my head about that song. Bro, so like me, bro, the biggest fucking Drake stan. I'm like, oh fuck, like I'm like mad at myself, bro. So this is not the time, bro. Like I think why we recommend it fall the fuck back is like, bro, like if you're gonna be dropping songs now, bro, you better then respond, my guy. Like it's a weird thing of like putting up the white flag, but not really. And like I know like we you sent me the thing about like I think he took down Heart
6.
Yeah, I don't know if he took it down off. Can you go on YouTube and see if
it's on YouTube. He just took it off his profile, I guess.
Bro, that's my thing, bro. Again, that's a nothing to me then, right? If the song is still up, like that's a nothing to me, right? Like the I mean, bro, like why would anyone want something to remind them of an L, right? Like, bro, I don't have a picture. You don't have a picture of your ex on your Instagram, right? Like, you don't want to fucking be reminded about that shit. So I can see that being removed. Like, who gives a fuck? But again, this is the timing of it all, bro. Like, that's why like it's just better go away. Like, I feel like when Nas was running this shit after dropping Ether, Jay-Z just fell back, bro. And like, all right, cool. Let me just take like a year off. I'll come back with a banger album. We'll move the fuck on. No big deal. This idea of like still trying to be in the scene and like, again, I enjoyed the Sexy Red verse. I enjoy this parody verse, but it's just like weird, dog. Like everyone's like really just like looking at you funny. Like, bro, if you're going to rap, then rap at him. Cause like, if you're going to be around, then bro, go at that dude, because that dude keeps winning when the stuff you drop is just really not moving the culture in any way. Like no one really gives a fuck, bro. Like,
yeah. Like to me, this wasn't even like some fun, catchy thing that anyone is gonna bump like beyond today. And I think that's what was weird to me. Like it's one thing if you're unbothered and making club bangers that have nothing to do with the beef. Like I would fully support that if it sounds good. But to me, it's feels like he's trying to come across unbothered and just like lowering everyone's expectations. In my,
do you know how many YouTube views? Because I know it's easy for us to say like, dude, maybe that song was a viral moment though. Like that guy's original version of that, like the parody version of that song that before Drake hopped on it, was that like it might have been like a viral moment in Toronto, and he's just like showing love to like a local Toronto cat.
I mean, do you know if it was a remix though?
What do you mean?
Are you talking about Hey There, Wagwan Delilah?
So Wagwan Delilah, like the Drake version is a remix. Like Wagwan Delilah, this dude made the song, and then Drake jumped on it because of this dude. Like it wasn't just like them coming together and making a parody of Hey There Delilah. Like this dude had his own version of that song, and then Drake jumped on it. So I think it was like at least a big enough viral moment in Toronto that he was like, you know what, let me just, I get it. I don't see anything wrong with that. It's just the timing of it, bro. Like if you're going to be rapping now, like rap about shit that like can move the needle back in your direction.
Well, the weird thing is it's on SoundCloud only. And then I don't see on that guy's page, I don't see any other tracks uploaded except this one. And it has 363,000 plays, which is not a lot.
Which should not be enough for you. But then again, it's like, if it had 17 million views, we're calling him a dick rider. You know what I mean? So it's like,
right. Yeah. There's like no winning.
There's no win. That's the bigger point.
Yeah. That's why you shouldn't be doing this shit.
Correct. That's the point, bro. There's no win in this, bro. Like you're not even what's maybe disturbing. Maybe that's too strong a word, but we'll just use disturbing. Is that even his diehard fans are now like wavering. Like, you can't even defend this, bro. I can defend my man falling back for 6 months and just like, you know what, man? Like, yeah, there's no point going outside. Like these motherfuckers miss you. But this shit is like, dog, like just dude, people take L's, dog. Like it's okay, bro. Like it's okay. I was listening to a podcast before this, bro, and you know Van Layton, right? Or you've heard of Van Layton before, right?
Yep.
So dude, he was talking about like he was up late one night and he just randomly went on James Brown's Wikipedia page, and there's a bunch of terrible things James Brown has done, right? Terrible things. But bro, James Brown also created bangers that will last a lifetime, right? Like, bro, Michael Jackson comes on at a wedding, we're all losing our minds and having a good time. Like, and dude, what Drake is accused of in this L is like, bro, who gives a fuck, right? Not the PDF stuff. I'm talking about like taking an L in this rap beef, right? Like, bro, like no one's gonna care in 6 months or a year. So I don't know, bro. I think there's the ego is being displayed in a way of like him being unable to just fall back. I think his routine is too consistent of like, nah, bro, every 6 months, I gotta give him something. I gotta give him a single every month. And it's like, bro, like, no, you don't, man. Like, make people miss you. And I think that seems to be so far a skill that he doesn't have.
Yeah. Which is why the line of Kendrick saying only you like being famous in particular hit me. And I've never really heard anyone talk about it.
Is that from Not Like Us, or is that from another song?
No, that was from
Euphoria?
Euphoria, yeah.
Okay.
And it's just very clear to me that he's obsessed with the limelight, and I get it. Like if you have a run that crazy, like if I was in his
17
position,
years,
yeah,
bro, crazy.
Like I'd have a hard time being like, he's a workaholic essentially. Like if you step away for one day, your business or whatever might go crashing, and I get it. But I think this should have been like a rude awakening that, okay, you had a great run, just take a break. You can always come back. You don't have to do this like gimmicky, let me like appeal to the white kids who like this song and will find it funny or some shit. Like it's just too much. And it's just becoming abundantly clear that a lot of what Kendrick said is true, even if some people argue it's an exaggeration in some ways. Like Drake is in my opinion
the character assassination of him, not the other shit that he's accused of. The character, like him, you being a limelight whore, all that stuff.
Yeah, culture bullshit or whatever, you name it. Like all that stuff, he's just giving him extra ammo. Yeah,
and again, there's no need to give him more ammunition because again, I think that song has done enough. But yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. Yeah, I feel like this is an interesting time for him, Drake fans. Because you're like, I mean, bro, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I've listened to more Drake recently than I ever had before. Like, bro, I went Take Care. I listened to that like 3 times in a row. That's actually gonna be one of my heat of the weeks later. Bro, so like I'm doing my best. Not my best. I think I'm going out of my way. I heard a mix like 3 weeks ago, like by his OVO DJs, like kind of there because they're going out of their way to make it very clear, like, bro, like he might take in this L, but don't forget about these bangers, bro. So like I'm trying to remind myself as well, like, bro, like you're not gonna get me stuck on this recent shit and make me think that this guy hasn't been the greatest artist in the last like 15 years. But yeah, man, it's just a weird time. It's just a weird time because we've never seen this before, bro. We've never seen someone at the top like that take an L, be this, like, I don't know, man, because again, there was no social media back in the Nas and Jay-Z era, right? To compare. So it's like Ether dropped, dude, it became a phrase, bro. He ethered him. Like that's still a phrase. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So like, again, I don't know how history will look at this, but bro, like, yeah, I don't get how you don't fall back. Like, I don't get what you gain from feeling, I gotta still drop something. Like, bro, he just dropped that BBL, that Sexy Red shit last week. That was our last episode, bro. And we're here again. Like, no, I don't get it.
Yeah, I really don't see what he gains from this. And it's a good point with the social media thing, because when Nas dropped Ether, like virtually nowhere would Jay-Z have to hear people clowning him. Like maybe if he's on the street and some dude screams from a car or something, but like he's not having to get on Twitter and Instagram and get DMs and all this extra shit. And I think
Yeah, because the New York Times is not talking about it, right? So
yeah, exactly.
He's stuck.
And even if they do, it's like one little think piece and then you move on. But
yeah,
Drake's gonna have to hop into every fucking Instagram reel and see some random 12-year-old be like, Kenny's better, or he's a pedo, or whatever, what have you. And I'm sure that just eats Drake up.
And he's on Instagram. Like that we know. Like, yeah, that we know. You're right, bro. It's probably eating him alive, bro. And he's just like, fuck, man. Like, bro, but yeah, it's wild to go from the beef where he was, again, I still think Family Matters is besides Not Like Us. Like, I think Family Matters is still the best, like, diss track. So to go from that, and then in 5 weeks, you're dropping a Hey There Delilah fucking parody. I mean, we can talk about range, but we could also be like, what's the point? Like, again, it may just be as simple as like, man, like I fuck with these guys on YouTube and fuck it. He's from Toronto. Let me just show you some love if this helps you out. But even that, bro, like even you being generous is going to look a particular way at this particular moment. And it's just an odd look. I'm not going to say bad because maybe time will tell it's not. But currently, it's just like funny. Like not haha funny. Just like this is a funny fucking move right now.
My only theory is that he's just goofing around trying to lower expectations. And then when the time comes, the bar is set so low that he just exceeds expectations with whatever he comes with next. Like that's the only W I could see coming out of this.
Yeah, bro, that's a dangerous game though, man. And I say that because I can remember when 50 Cent dropped an album. He didn't have that many bangers initially, and he went on the radio and was like, "Oh no, I just want to give you, some like, essentially he's calling some of his like lead singles like average songs until I hit you over the head with AO technology." It's like, bro, like that's a dangerous game, bro. And it's like, I don't believe that shit because I'm like, bro, don't put out average songs then. You know what I mean? Like, like just come with the heat, and then people will fall in love with that and want to, be intrigued about everything else. And with Drake, bro, the bar is set so high, but I get it. That seems like if you're trying to find a path where this even makes sense, it's like, all right, let's just give him these like stupid little songs, blah, blah, blah. And then boom, here's a banger that is undeniable. But I don't know, man, I still stay in the camp of like, just go away, bro. Like, try to put Instagram down and go to the Turks and Caicos. Go somewhere where they don't even, like, you're gonna fucking know Drake anywhere. But just go, like, somewhere, like, super remote, bro. Like, you don't have to...
You just gotta go to, like, Cambodia or some shit.
Something, bro. Go to fucking Bali. Like, something, bro. Just go away. Because if you're not gonna come back with an absolute onslaught, and even that will look weird, bro. If you came back, like, 7 weeks later with a diss at Kendrick... I think, what the fuck you been doing? You know what I mean?
Like, he's just gotta go. There's too much going on, and I think only like the craziest mind controlled cultish stands are defending and are like, what? He can't have a little fun? Yes, he can, but not right now, and not this right kind of fun.
Yeah, bro, and because you can also make that parody and not put it out,
right?
Like. He's like, oh, that's fun. Let me do my own version of that. And then just keep it, bro. Like,
yeah.
But it is what it is, bro. But I will encourage a lot of people to go check out old catalogs of Drake because I say they aged well, like for an album to drop close to like, bro, 11, 10, 12 years ago and still like hit in a fucking great way as an adult. Again, I think when you hear those albums, it's an easy way to push back on some of the narrative that Kendrick put out about him, right? Because again, it is intellectual. It is like an insight into how he feels about certain things. So I know it was nice. I do recommend people to go back and listen to Take Care or some of like his Part B stuff. But speaking about light skins taking more L's, we're gonna move to J. Cole. So let the people know what J. Cole dropped for us after removing 7 Minute Drill from the internet.
Yeah, he dropped a single called Grippy with, I believe, Cash Cobain, who's like I don't know where he came from, but he's everywhere. Like I'm
pretty sure he's from New York.
Okay. Yeah, he's from New York. his sound is like all over YouTube. So like I was just beat.
Yeah, because he has that banger, which is called Fisher. Mm-hmm. And that's everywhere, bro. I know when my boy, my DJ dropped it at the wedding, people went crazy too. Like that's just, people love that fucking song, bro. Yeah. But yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that as I was beat shopping these past couple weeks, like Cash Cobain type beats are now like the new thing that keeps popping up. And of course, J. Cole hops on this song Grippy, and it's just like the most, even by his or anyone's standards, really just super cookie cutter, like basic shit by what we're accustomed to hearing from him. And it seems like after the beef, or him dropping out of the Kendrick beef, this is the wrong direction for him. Again, I don't know if he's just lowering expectations so that when he drops the fall off, our minds are blown, but this was really disappointing to me. Like I never want to hear that song ever again.
Never again, bro. Never again. It's almost like the beef has made both of them like, I mean, I get that, bro. You take an L. I mean, dude, I just play basketball, so I have like a basketball reference in my head. But like, you start having enough bad days playing basketball, you wouldn't be human if you didn't question yourself, right? Like, bro, do I suck? Like, bro, like, should I just give this shit up, right? So, I think when you lose, you take L's like they did in a beef. Like, it's only natural to think like, fuck, man, like, what should I even put out? Like, what do they even want to hear from me? Do they want to hear from me? Let me hop on the most popular current sounding thing and see if that's a way to kind of get them back in my good graces. But bro, this song sounded like a terrible remake of Fisher, which again, like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I get this is this dude's flow, right? Like, so most of his beats are going to sound that way. But bro, it sounds like a very poor version of Fisher. So it's like the lyrics are trash. And like, we like J. Cole when he jumps on other people's tracks because like he always elevates his bars, right? Mm-hmm. Like that's he won MVP last year strictly based off features. No album, just features. Because it was like, damn, bro, like, are you sure you want to have this guy in your song? Because he might just body you on it, right? Like with first person shooter. So it was weird that he jumped on this track, tried to sound like a dumbed down version of himself. And it's like, bro, we don't go to you for that shit. Bro, we barely replay your shit as is and we love you. But if you're going to give us some watered down version of you that you sound like every other dude from New York who wants to hop on this, again, YouTube, Cash Cobain beat, bro, like we got plenty of that shit, bro. We want you to give us like gems, like shit we've never heard before. So yeah, it's just like weird. Like there's no way you look at him and then you're not like, bro, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, and I get it. Like if post beef, you know, like they're kind of burnt out and want to just have fun and they're rich enough to do whatever they want creatively, and I support that. But this just seems far below what they're capable of. And I think that's what's so confusing to me, because I'm not mad at the beat choice or like him rapping about what he's rapping about. It just felt like a very like lazy attempt to ride this, you know, Cash Cobain wave or whatever that's going on.
Yeah. And then, but also ride that wave but not try to stand out. Right. Then what's the point? Like we want to hear J. Cole. We don't want to hear, again, some other dude from New York. Like I think like what we mentioned before, as far as like, we're so over drill. It's like, bro, you all sound alike. So like, there's nothing special here for me to take away from this. And like, it's just, when it's a J. Cole name, you're like, bro, what? Like, yeah, that's not who you are. So yeah, it's just odd, bro. And again, man, he got us good, bro, because I still remember we were all like, what, 10 weeks ago, maybe, when he dropped that like mini documentary and then he dropped the album. We're like, oh shit, like this guy, this is going to be the year. And now it's just like, bro, like you could also go away, bro. You go away as well.
Yeah. Now I'm just laughing because I'm reading a couple of lyrics and he said, I want to kill it like rest in peace. Eat on that pussy like it was a recipe. Like, I think anyone could have come up with those bars. And J. Cole's a mastermind when it comes to lyricism. It's just weird to me. He recorded this and then was like, "Yep,
Put it out."
after post beef, this is gonna be a good look." That's just crazy to me.
Yeah, and then think about it. Post beef, he still was okay with signing off on Future and Metro putting out that song with him, right? Which I'm sure was recorded way before this shit even went down. But even that, bro, you would have think he'd like, you know what, man, remove me from that shit as well, right? And he like just very odd choices by our light skinned people like right now. Like it's not a good time for us, bro. We need Steph Curry to win a fucking ring or something to just, like get this shit.
You piss my bitches off like a potty,
bro. Bad, bro. Bad, bro. Like just like fuck. Yeah. I don't know. We need Boz to drop like a fire album and just like we can move on. Like just like still have faith in Dreamville. Yo, do you think, because I already know it's hurting OVO as a brand, right? But do you think with like J. Cole being this way recently, or, you know, just like people just being so like disappointed at him, does it affect the label in a real way?
The label itself, I feel like OVO, yes, just because Kendrick basically said fuck the whole label. With J. Cole, I don't think so, because I never like considered Dreamville as like this unit that kind of moves together and has the same kind of sound and vibe. Like I always just viewed them as this like separate entity, or this collective entity of like completely separate people, if that makes sense.
Got it.
Except maybe Boz. I feel like he and Boz are kind of like a duo, but I don't think Boz is big enough, no Diddy, for people to care and like associate them that closely. Yeah,
you're right. You're right about that, right? It's almost like Boz is almost like a he has like a perfect niche for himself where like if you like Boz, you fuck with him heavy, but you also may not know who the fuck we're talking about right now. So like you're right. But that's funny because the weird thing is like, yeah, you're right. But even with OVO, we said the same thing, right? Like besides like Chubbs and maybe Party, for the most part, they all pretty much do their own thing, right? They're just signed to the OVO brand. But I think for all of them dudes right now, it's hard to even think about putting out anything, bro. Like think about it, bro. Party dropped a very good album, and no one's talking about it at all, bro. Because it just was in the middle of the fucking biggest beef known to hip hop. And it's like, bro, we ain't got time for that shit. And apparently you're a pedophile as well. So get the fuck out of here. Like, it's just like a very bad time to be an OVO, bro. That's why I'm grateful for, so just so you know, it's like his DJs, Noel and Mark, Drake's, and they drop an OVO hip hop set like every other Friday. And bro, it's fire. And they've been dropping like bangers and like classic Drake shit, classic OVO shit to at least like keep that sound buzzing. But bro, like actual release stuff, like bro, they all need to fall back, and it's just crazy, bro. If anything, if I was Party, I would release a like, what's it called? The not the extended version of an album. What's it called now?
The deluxe.
A deluxe, yeah. Like I think like in 6 months he should drop a deluxe version of that album, just so people like remember about it, bro. Because this was like, it was just completely swept like away. Like, bro, we have no time to hear this. We don't want to hear it. It's just, wild, bro. Wild. Like this feels a little bit like, and again, Drake's not going anywhere, but this feels a little bit like when like 50 bodied all of Murder Inc. You know what I mein? Like, just like, bro, we don't fuck with, he said all y'all suck and we're done. You know, like, again, I don't think Ja Rule had that. Again, he was never Jay-Z, right? And Nick is essentially Jay-Z right now. So I think realistically, this is more like Nas and Jay-Z, where like Nas got a phenomenal knockout punch, but like realistically, Jay-Z's still that guy when it comes to everything encompassing. But the way that OVO is not moving right now and everything's on standstill, that kind of feels like Ja Rule Murder Inc-ish.
Yeah. I also think the difference too is like J. Cole, like people still respect his pen game. They're just like pissed he backed out, and like Dreamville was never really part of the conversation but Kendrick's damn near calling OVO like this trafficking ring of like drugged out like child fucking abusers. So all of them just look crazy and like
crazy.
Yeah, there's no escaping that when your whole brand is viewed as this weird cult.
I know, bro. I might have to like I gotta figure out when I'm allowed to wear my my OVO cardigan. Like I don't know if it's like a thing that we're like. Oh man, it's all right, bro. Keep your head up, OVO. We're good, bro. We're good. We just need some time.
Why? Wait, real quick. Why do you think Drake? Because like Party released, Cream had an album. Yet Drake is like doing these little random side quests. Why do you think he's not working with those guys, even just for like one feature? Because I find it hard to believe they're like so. I don't know. What's the word?
Yo, but I feel like he
of their own craft to be like, oh, if this is successful, it's because of me. Not Drake.
Damn, they do that thing where they don't have features, bro. I have a feeling, wasn't he on one of the songs on Party Next Door 4 on P4?
To be honest, I didn't really listen to the whole thing. You could have, but I figured I would have heard about it if. But
I think it was in the midst. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. I don't know, bro. I think think about like Can't Hang, bro. Like that's one of our favorite songs of all time. I think he purposely just goes out of his way to not fuck up. I think his whole point of creating his own label was like, you can be signed to me. You'll get this shine from being a part of like proximity to me, but I'm not going to control how you do your shit. So like, if you want me on your tracks, I'm available, but I really just want you guys to shine on your own like foundation. Right. Like, I think that's always been, again, it might be easy to say now, but like, I think that's always been his approach, right? Think about the Can't Hang, that album that Preem dropped, bro. I don't think there was a one Drake feature, right? But Drake's always around. He's in the video, he's supporting, he's fucking on Instagram, fucking, you know, putting all the songs up on his story. Like, so I think he just supports in a very unique way, which again, from what I've heard from a lot of these artists who hate being signed to some labels, is that sometimes like these owners are too involved, right? Like, do this, do that. And it's like, bro, like, let me just be my artist. Like, give me the check and like, I'll do my thing. I think he's always kind of done that thing, right? Because, dude, when was the last Drake Majid Jordan song you've heard? Bro, fucking 10 years? You know, like, I think, like, I've always appreciated that about Drake. It's not like, bro, like, all right, you drop an album, motherfucker, you got to give me a feature. Like, I think that was like the one thing I didn't like about Jay-Z and Rockefeller is like, he was too involved. And it was like, bro, these guys are beneath you, dog. Like, let these guys live and figure it out. Dude, I don't know if you remember, he dropped a song on Beanie Siegel's album that was just him. Like, just him. It wasn't him and Beanie Siegel. It was just a Jay-Z song. It's like, crazy. Bro, like, that is some, like, the audacity, bro. Like,
yeah, that's like the epitome of narcissist.
Yeah. So I appreciate Drake for not being like that.
Got it.
All right, so let's move to another great. Eminem is back, bro. I don't know the last time we had anything positive to say about Eminem on this podcast, so I'm grateful that we do for now. So let the people know what he dropped. I actually thought it was an album, so I was relieved that it was only a song, because I'm like, bro, I don't got time for these lyrical miracle shit right now. But let the people know what he dropped recently.
Yeah, so Eminem dropped his latest single, Houdini. Sounds very reminiscent of his song. Is it called Guess Who's Back?
Yeah,
Guess Who's Back. I forget which album that was off of, but if you're listening and you were born, if you're listening and you're not like at least 30 years old, you probably have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, but 30 is a good number, because anything like if you're like 26, bro, that shit passed you.
Yeah, there's no way your parents let you listen to that shit. Bro, honestly, I could barely listen to it.
Exactly. I don't know how my mom allowed me to listen to this shit, bro. Yeah. I think she was just too busy working, because, bro, like, she would let me just go to sleep listening to like Eminem show. And I'm like, bro, this is some wild shit right now. Like,
even the censored version, like videos and everything, were still like borderline too inappropriate.
Yo, aggressive. But yeah, so Houdini.
Houdini.
Reference the I think that album is going to be like almost like him killing that version of himself, right? I think that's like the whole idea of it.
Yep.
When this album comes out.
Yep, and Slim Shady, I think is the alter ego. The blonde hair, just like OG version.
Oh, right, because there was
Eminem.
a video to this, right?
No, Without Me was the song I was thinking of.
Yes. Where he's like Robin, right? And Dre is Batman or whatever.
Yep, and it's got that like comic book feel to it. They're in the car and everything. So yeah, Without Me, it feels like part 2 of that. And I don't know, it's tough to say because I feel like with music or movies or anything, nostalgia is kind of like a cheat code to getting people to
yeah,
fuck
I feel like
with
you've
it.
always had that take, right? It's always easier to make the second, third, fourth movie than making the first one.
Right. And it can be like mediocre and people will still convince themselves that they love it, because if you don't, then you're kind of thinking your childhood's a lie or something like that.
That's a good point.
So I'm not mad at it. I personally like the fact that Eminem is getting back to his silly bag, which is ironic because I was just clowning Drake for kind of doing that. But Eminem has been on that like
but Eminem didn't get bodied by Kendrick Lamar, bro.
Yeah.
That's what's
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if that had happened, maybe I'd have a different take. But it's nice to see Eminem kind of just have fun, make some amusing music, have funny, controversial bars here and there, like the Megan Thee Stallion one. But I personally have never been the biggest Eminem fan, so like I'd never replayed a lot of his music, and I don't know, this kind of rap is a little too quirky for me, but I much prefer it to anything he's released in the past few years.
Yeah, bro, because the other stuff is like, it's almost like it's that like that dude who just went through like is like 10 years, literally 10 years sober, and all they want to talk about is like them being sober. It's like, hey, bro, we get it, bro. Like, just don't, you don't drink anymore. Like, good for you. But like, and he's so aggressive with like making it very clear, like, I don't do drugs anymore. And it's just like, like, bro, like, relax, man. Like, but I enjoyed this song, bro. I really did. Like, I didn't know. You're right. It might be the nostalgia play because it's funny. Like, because it's his manager's on the song. Peter Rosenberg?
Peter.
Or is it Paul?
Rosenberg?
One of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Peter's that fucking guy we hate now on. Bro, that guy's a fucking. We gotta talk. That guy's a fucking the worst now, bro. I used to like him a lot, bro. I used to follow him on Instagram and like support this fucking guy. Like, this guy is he's just so corny with his fucking takes, dude.
Yeah, I don't know much about him, but I know a lot of people don't like him.
Yo, dude, he's like, yeah, bro. He's like, yeah, whatever. It's fine. But Paul Rosenberg, who's now I think actually the president of Def Jam Records. But he used to be on all of M's albums back in the day, like the first 4 as like skits, like, yo, like telling him like, bro, like, don't do this, don't drop that song, they're gonna cancel us. So for him to have that nostalgia play, like it wasn't just the beat, right, or the flow, it was like all of it. Because again, I do think there's a way to make nostalgia work, right? Like, I'll go to like the Rocky movies, right? Like, dude, Rocky 4, some might say is the best Rocky, you know? And, you know, if you do it right, it could really work. And I think Houdini was that, bro. Like, dude, that hook is enticing. Like, you know, like we've heard that other song before, like he's, you know, like kind of biting that flow, but like all of it just worked, dude. Like I was like, all right, man, I could listen to an album of this, you know, to be honest. Like that's how I felt. And I haven't, to your point, I have not felt that way about an Eminem anything for at least 7-8 years.
Same. Yeah, this is like nostalgia cheat code aside or whatever. It was definitely enjoyable. For the first time in a while, I'm actually excited to listen to a full album. Hopefully this isn't like baiting us into like fucking Alcoholics Anonymous part 2 or some shit. But I think part of it too is I feel like we've kind of been oversaturated with just like generic trap shit, and it's always nice to see someone like a Kanye or whoever else still put out good work, or maybe some of their best work in a while, because we only have so many like legendary artists in the game, and a lot of them either retired or just like incapable of making anything worth listening to. And it seems like Eminem's finally like, all right, I'm not gonna take shit way too serious anymore. Like, let me just
have fun.
Let
me just have fun. So do you put any like stock in the whole thing of him bringing up Megan Thee Stallion only for the sake of like getting people to talk about him again?
No, I think he just was thinking of the state of the rap game and just him being witty. I think he just was
like what can I do to move the needle, right? Because if you go back to like if you go back to like the Slim Shady days, bro, he was name dropping everyone popular back then too.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, it's honestly like, if you're gonna go full nostalgia, you might as well go for it. And like,
just like Tyler the Creator back, what was that one song where he ate the roach? When he mentioned Yonkers, when he mentions Bruno Mars and B.O.B. and they were like the two hottest artists, or they had one of the biggest songs at that time, and he mentioned them. I don't think he was like, oh, once I mentioned this, like this is my ticket to stardom. I think it was just like he genuinely, as he was writing bars, he's like, oh shit, this would be funny.
Yeah, it'd be funny. And dude, honestly, but I do think there's some like truth in the idea of like, I do think that a lot of rappers or people in the industry don't believe that Tory Lanez should be in jail for this.
Yeah.
So I think there's also that part. Like, like good for you, woman, that like you're popular. But like, we also like don't believe exactly the accounts that you told us, even if they may be true, because like it doesn't make sense to us still. So like, I do think there's some truth in like, bro, like, yes, this is a funny line because you're the pop culture woman like that everyone talks about now to a certain extent. But like, I also kind of believe Tory Lanez. Like, I do think a little bit of that was there.
Yeah, I think it was like the perfect storm for Eminem, because I'd be lying if I said he didn't know it was going to be controversial, but I think he knows the internet is basically on Tory's side. So even if it does ruffle feathers, it's just going to work in his favor, especially for his fan base. His fan base is definitely not Megan Thee Stallion's fan base. Yeah,
they're probably not Tory either, but there's more likeliness of a Eminem fan being a Tory fan than a Megan Thee Stallion fan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was funny though. I think it was Grand Chat Wizard or Academics. Like they did a side by side. Do you see that one of their monthly listens? And it was like
no.
Oh, so Eminem is like 65 million monthly listens, and I think Megan's like 32 or something. And they were like, "Are you fucked? Like, why would he ever need anyone else to do like people like again like." We can say Drake's Colts fan, and like it's a true thing. But like, bro, like Eminem fans are diehard. Like, bro, like if this was back in the day, like remove like social media and DSPs from the equation. If this was still like Eminem at 47 or 50, whatever the fuck he is, but this was still like people buying CDs, I guarantee you Eminem is still going quadruple platinum.
Yeah.
Bro, like no doubts.
Yeah. I don't know anyone else who has like the most cult like fan base ever. Like people swear he's the best, no debate. Like this motherfucker can do no wrong in his fans' eyes.
Yeah, so that's why I think like it's cool when 50 like stands up for him. It's like, bro, like like in GOAT conversations, you have to bring up Eminem. Like, bro, like there's no bigger rapper in the world. Like this is cute and all, but like it's him. But yeah, I enjoyed the song. So if you guys haven't heard it yet, definitely go peep Houdini. I thought it was a very good track, and hopefully more to come on that. So before we move on to Heat of the Week, no pun intended, Hot 97 Summer Jam was this past weekend. So for those who don't listen, Hot 97 is the biggest, or was the biggest, hip-hop radio station in the 90s and the early 2000s. Now it's more Power 105, but Hot 97 has always put on a summer concert. Essentially all the most popular acts in hip-hop over the last like 5 years, they try to get whoever they can. The biggest Hot 97 moment, bro, of all time for me, I don't know if you remember this or was aware of it being in LA because we were both young as shit, is one time Jay-Z brought out Michael Jackson and they did a couple songs together, and that was fucking insane, bro, because Michael Jackson being associated with hip-hop wasn't a thing. So for Jay-Z, it was like, oh, fuck, bro. Jay-Z has to be that guy, because how'd he bring Michael Jackson out? Yeah. And then the other thing was, it might have been the same year, but when Jay-Z dropped the original diss track to Nas and Mobb Deep, Takeover, he played the video of like Prodigy
in a Michael Jackson outfit or whatever.
In a ballerina outfit.
Oh, Ballard. Yeah, yeah.
Because
Something like
Prodigy went to like a school of arts, and like I guess that was just part of his curriculum. But it was like, bro, like so that was like some historic, like so Hot 97 is known for like historic moments in hip hop, right? But apparently at this most recent Hot 97 event, it's kind of what we've been saying. The crowd is very, very young. So when they had acts like Missy Elliott, this most recent one was Method Man and Redman, and they're doing their bangers. He's like, bro, the crowd is not into this shit whatsoever at all. And then funny enough, bro, I have the video. I'll send it to you on the side. Is that they brought Andre 3000 out, bro. And this motherfucker would not rap. He just was playing instruments for 30 minutes straight, bro. People just started leaving. So again, I don't know if that has to do with age, because I think that people of a certain age were just like disappointed. Like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Like rap, bro. Like we get you don't put new music out, but where are the bangers? But you're right. So like because you just mentioned this, right? Like hip hop's in a very stale place, right? Besides, let's remove the Kendrick and Drake, because that did give it like a moment. But in the most part, bro, I feel like we've been talking about like hip hop on the downslide. And now we don't get this huge youth movement as far as new artists that are moving the needle. But then the crowds are just getting younger and younger, that they're not fucking with the older cats anymore. So like, I just really think this in itself is becoming like a recipe for disaster for like the genre as a whole. Do you know what I mean? Like it's going to be very odd in like 5 or 6 years where like the people who are going to concerts don't want to hear anything that is remotely resembling of something like of a past time.
Yeah. No, I hear you on that. And I'm not mad at Method Man at all, because
For saying it,
because for one, I mean, I looked at that one song, "The Rockweiler" with
bro, the
Redman.
greatest song ever, bro. Like
I know it came out in 1999.
Yep.
Which makes me feel old, but I realized I'm like, well, if you're not at least 30 years old, you're probably not going to give a shit. And I looked at the lineup and they had like Doja Cat, Sexy Red. So you're attracting a certain audience. Not only do they not give a fuck about Method Man, but they probably wouldn't even give a fuck about like JID or name anyone who's like remotely lyrical, like who's out now. I don't even think they would care about that person. So I think there's also an issue with the events that they're curating, because I mean, look at 50 Cent, like one of the most successful tours ever, but I don't know if 50 Cent would still get the same reaction if he went to a fucking
Rolling Loud
Ice
or
Spice,
some shit.
like Yeet fucking concert. Like if he went there, he probably look like a joke.
So there's probably more blame to like the people
the curators
who put this show on in the first place. That's a great point. That's a very good point. Yeah. Because it's like, bro, like why are you even putting these people in that space?
Yeah. I think that's the issue. And I think Method Man probably looked at the lineup. He's like, you're really going to have me like go after Sexy Red and these kind of people? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. But I think, again, not to hate on Peter Rosenberg, who's like one of the heads at Hot 97. I think that's what people, especially from New York, bro, like I hear it all the time from my friends. It's like, that's their beef with Hot 97. It's like, bro, like it feels like, and not to like, because you're a white Jewish man and you're like an Ebro's like a light skinned black guy, but it's like, it just feels like you're just too old and removed. So it's like, how are you coming up with these lineups? Like, like it's just like, bro, like,
is it a one size fits all type thing where they're like, okay, we know the kids like these 5 people, so we'll get the attention from them, but then we also have to stick to our roots and satisfy the old heads, so let's grab these 5 people and just hope it works.
Yeah, but the thing with Summer Jam, it's not like Rolling Loud where you have like 4 or 5 different stages. It's just one stage. So
that's where it would make sense if it was something where the old heads can congregate over there.
Yeah.
Young kids here or whatever.
Yeah, because I feel like at Rolling Loud, they actually do a good job of that, right? Like we ran to go see Belly. It wasn't packed, but everyone there was a Belly fan, right? Like you knew to go on stage. Whereas with this, like you're just there and you're like, bro, I don't know who the fuck this is. I guess I'll go get some drinks. And then like enough people leave, bro. Like,
yeah. And I don't even think it, again, I don't think it has to do with the artist. I think it's the curator's fault. Cause I just remembered last year or 2 years ago, I went to like an R&B show. And it was mainly artists that were popular in like the early 2000s, mid 2000s. So like Mario, Trey Songz, I forget who else was there, but people who haven't been like topping the charts for years. But it was packed. It was fully packed. Granted, everyone is at like a minimum 25 years old, but I think it worked because everyone was there for the same reason. But you can't have like a mix of 14-year-olds trying to rock out to Method Man and then have 40-year-olds pretend to care about Sexy Red. Like it's just not gonna work.
Yeah, just like I feel like that being in the audience, we would have felt very awkward.
Mm-hmm.
And just like confused. Like, dude, I still remember when like obviously we grew to like love Young Thug. But do you remember at Rolling Loud where like everyone ran away to go listen to Young Thug instead of Kendrick Lamar's set? Yeah. We're like, bro, you guys fucked? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah, it's odd to me.
Yeah, but again, shout out to Method Man. I do, like I said, I do appreciate that comment. Because you have to, like, it is what it is, bro. Like, this isn't for me. Like, I'm sure. I still think Wu-Tang goes on tour in Europe. So but again, those are Wu-Tang shows, right? So like, you'll go see a Method Man at that, as opposed to, it's 25 artists and like he just gets stuck. Yeah, you're right. You got to blame Hot 97 for that one. So very good point by you. Anything else, my G, before we get into Heat of the Week?
No, I think that's it.
All right, episode 180, Heat of the Week. What you got?
So your favorite rapper, even more important to you than Drake, Dave East, collaborated with Mike and Keys. Mike and Keys, they're definitely the reason I like a lot of artists that they collaborate with. So for those who don't know, they produce a lot of Nipsey's music, and it's West Coast in its sound, but I would say more modern West Coast. So it's not like an acquired taste like some of the other West Coast music you might be familiar with, which I love. And I think that's part of the reason why Nipsey was popular as well, because a lot of other West Coast artists are kind of too niche and like gang banged out to grow to a greater audience.
Yeah, but Nipsey could also rap on beat, bro.
Yeah, exactly. That too. Yeah, a lot of these dudes are just like, basically their street credibility overrides their talent, and people are more enamored by that. Whereas Nipsey kind of had it all. But the project is called, let's see. The project, it's called Apartment 6E, but the song in particular I like that caught my ear was
it's a full album?
Yeah, it's a full album.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the song in particular that I liked is called Ballin' featuring Buddy. Buddy, some of my favorite songs from him were produced by Mike and Keys, and he was a feature on Nipsey. So Nipsey had this series of songs called Status Symbol. Part 1, 2, 3, 4, I think even.
I think we both agree part 2 is our favorite, right?
I think part 3 might be my favorite. Is that the one where he's like,
I'm thinking about the video where like they're in like the Phantom and like.
So yeah, it's definitely that one, but I think that one might be 3.
You're right. It might be 3. I think 3 is the one that's finally. It's 3. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
where he's like, I almost forgot what I was doing.
Yeah. Oh, bro, what a banger! What a banger! I might listen to the whole album at the gym tomorrow.
I know. Yeah, that was produced by Mike and Keys. So as you could tell, it's hard for them to miss. But yeah, the song's called Ballin' featuring Buddy, Dave East and Mike and Keys.
So Mike and Keys are two dudes. Sorry.
Yeah, I believe 2 dudes
from LA.
Yep.
Very cool. All right, yeah, I'll do a little deep dive on their stuff. I'm sure like Apple or Spotify has like a few of their like main songs. So, All right, but I'll add that. Ballin', Dave East. Shout out to Dave East. Useless rapper, but every now and then, again, people have a couple bangers here and there, bro. Dude, like I love that song he has with French Montana, bro. Maneuver, bro. Whenever
I need to hear that one.
Oh, bro, you've heard that before. I've definitely told you about it before. Okay. Dude, I think it was my Heat of the Week. Like, bro, we first started like episode like 6 or something. Okay. But yeah, I Maneuver. Again, French Montana really made the hook, which he does great sometimes. But
it sounds dope. I'll have to listen to.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite Dave East songs. But I'll give this a chance because obviously I trust you. But for me, bro, this song brought me back to the good old days of Drake and Future collabs and Life is Good. And oh man, So Grammys on the Take Care album, bro, what a song, bro. And I would honestly say, again, this is not beef related. I think we've spoken about this in the past. Like, I think we both are Future fans. We appreciate what he means to the culture, but we also know there's like a redundancy and like nothing special at times of his lyrics. Is that fair?
Yeah, 100% fair.
Okay, cool.
I think at times is an understatement. I'd say most times, but
so okay, I wanted you to say it. I didn't want to say it. Like, but the Grammys, bro, like I didn't make this song Heat of the Week because of Drake's verse. Drake's verse is fine, bro. I think most of his verse, bro. Future's verse on this song is phenomenal, bro. Like, he's spitting, and again, it's the same shit. The idea of like, bro, like I'm on top, like haha, you'll never be me. Bro, it's said in such a way, like think about like Young Dolph when we fucked with Young Dolph heavy. Like, bro, it's the simplest shit, but like, I love it. You know, like, yo, I ran 4 miles listening to that song and just fucking replayed it over and over, bro.
For real?
The one song, dude. The one song. Yeah,
well,
dude,
I mean, it is kind of like 2 songs, so I guess that can work.
It is kind of like 2 songs, yeah, because like there's like that very clear, like, I would say beat change, but just like a pause in the song so he can just like talk his shit.
Yeah,
bro, very good song, bro. And again, I think the fallout of this beef shit, if it stays, you know, for a while, is like, yeah, bro, all those great Future Drake collabs, Drake Rick Ross collabs are done, and that's crazy. But again, we have enough content that it's fine. Like, everyone will be fine. But yeah, I would say, dude, if you haven't heard of Grammys recently or ever, listen to that shit on our Heat of the Week playlist, because that's a very good song.
Nice. I love that song. Surprisingly, I actually, my favorite part of the song is Drake's verse. I think specifically the bar about boat fines, just because I thought that's like one of the biggest flexes anyone could possibly have.
Dude.
Yeah, the song's dope.
I think about it, that motherfucker was like 20, what? Dude, Take Care came out when I just graduated college. She was like 24, bro.
Uh-huh.
Like, bro, yeah, like to your point earlier, bro, this run is unprecedented, bro. Like, it's just, yeah, but more reason just to fall back. But yeah, dude, Drake's verse was great. Again, I don't want to like poo-poo that. Like, I'm gonna love that most Drake verses, but like, yo, that Future 16 stood out in a way that I have never been moved by a Future 16. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy that one. But my G, great episode. Really enjoyed this one. Needed it, bro. I had a fucking stressful day at work, so love you as always. Let the people know where they can find us. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yes, sir. Catch us at audio-theory.com. New episode every week on all streaming platforms. We have the Spotify and Apple Music Heat of the Week playlist on the site as well. If you're on YouTube, peep down below. We got merch. Merch is on the site as well. But if you're not you don't have the ability to cop anything, please like, subscribe, comment, share, do what you can to support the pod so we can hit 4K by the end of this year.
So you were saying, just to give people insight on our like analytics, we hit 1,000 new subs this year?
Almost 1,000. I think it's like 800 at this point.
That's pretty wild, considering it's not even halfway point of the year.
Yeah, and it's dope too, because a lot of our older clips are still getting subs here and there. So it's nice to know that like we don't just post shit and then it kind of just disappears. Like, old stuff is doing work still. Yeah,
but I do like on the Instagram page, on the IG page, that it's nice when you see all the likes and then you just see like a bunch of like follows like in between that. I'm like, all right, cool, you fuck with this, bro. Like, because again, like, dude, think about like when we're in our Explorer page, like we might laugh, but I'm never like, oh, I'm gonna follow this. You know, like you got to really be moved to like, all right, I want to see this shit every day. So yeah, I really appreciate everyone listening. And again, if you're late, we're gonna be here for a while, God willing. So welcome to the party. So I'm IG. Love you, bro.
Love you too.
Peace.
Peace.